Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Hostname, and I work as an AI expert right here in the hotel industry. It's a real pleasure to be here with all of you from the Europe Hotel School. We're going to dive into a topic today that's absolutely critical for your future careers, mastering the financial side of all this new hospitality tech. So let's jump right in.
All right, let's get straight to it, shall we? At the end of the day, we have to talk about the bottom line. I mean, when you're thinking about investing a lot of money in something like AI and the training that goes with it, there's this one huge question every single leader has to answer. Is this just another cost, something that just sits on the balance sheet? Or is it actually a powerful new engine to drive revenue?
And that really brings us to the core idea of this whole explainer. Look, if you're going to justify this kind of major investment, we're talking time, we're talking capital, you can't just cross your fingers and hope it all works out. Management absolutely must be able to measure its return on investment, or what we all call ROI. Seriously, it's not an option, it's a fundamental business necessity.
Okay, so the big question is, how do you actually measure this stuff professionally? Well, you can't just wing it. You need a proven framework. And in our industry, the gold standard for that is something called the Kirkpatrick model. And I want to be clear, this isn't just some academic theory. This is the real deal, practical way we apply serious, professional standards to figure out if our training is actually working.
So what is it exactly? Well, to put it simply, the Kirkpatrick model gives us this really smart four-level approach to evaluate what truly matters. We're getting way beyond that simple feedback form that just asks, did you like the training? Instead, we're digging deep to find tangible, concrete results that actually move the needle for the business.
And if you look at how it's structured, it's just so logical. It starts out simple with level 1, which is just reaction. But as we just said, liking the training, well, that's not nearly enough. So level 2 asks a tougher question. Did they actually learn anything? Then, and this is so crucial, level 3 looks at behavior. Are they taking those new skills and actually using them on the job? Because if they're not, let's be honest, we are never going to get to level 4, results. And that's the holy grail, where we see a real, measurable impact on our key business metrics.
Now, it's that final level, level 4, that I really want to focus on for a bit. This is where the rubber meets the road, right? It's where we move out of the classroom and start looking at the P&L statement. We're talking about quantifying the hard metrics, the actual numbers that tell us if we're winning or losing in hospitality.
So let's make this real with an example. Imagine this. We've just rolled out a big training program for our entire revenue management team. They're learning how to use the Ideas AI-powered system. Now, this tool is incredibly powerful, but here's the thing. It's only as good as the people who are actually using it, right?
Okay, so what do? We track the data, and the impact becomes crystal clear. What you're looking at here is a chart of our revenue per available room, our RevPAR, the metric we all live and die by. Now, take a look at the bar on the left. That's our performance before the training. Now, look at the bar on the right. That's after the team got trained up on the AI. The difference is pretty huge, isn't it?
And that is the whole point. We now have a specific, quantifiable result. We can walk into a management meeting and say, with confidence, the Ideas training directly led to a 5% increase in RevPAR. All of a sudden, the cost of that training, it doesn't look like an expense anymore, does it? It looks like a fantastic, high-yield investment.
And listen, this isn't just about the revenue team. This principle works all across the hotel. Let's take housekeeping, for example. Say we implement an AI optimizer for their workflow. Suddenly, we find that rooms are getting turned around and ready for the next guest 30 minutes earlier on average. I mean, that's a massive, quantifiable win for guest satisfaction and for our own operational efficiency.
But we're not done yet. The analysis doesn't just stop with those obvious operational numbers. Some of the biggest financial wins are actually hidden inside what people often call soft metrics. So let's pull back the curtain and look at their very real, and I mean very hard, financial impact.
Just think about employee retention for a second. Let's say we start using AI tools for sentiment analysis, basically to get a real pulse on team morale. At the same time, we offer personalized, AI-driven learning paths for everyone. What happens? Well, we're directly addressing staff satisfaction and their desire for professional development, and that makes your team feel valued, like you're actually investing in their future.
So what's the result of all that? Well, just imagine, it leads to a 10% drop in staff turnover for the year. Now that is not just some nice-to-have HR metric you put in a report. No way. That's a number that has huge direct financial consequences for the hotel.
And why is that so important? It's simple, really. Because the savings you get from lower recruitment and onboarding costs, they can be absolutely staggering. Think about it. Every single position you don't have to rehire, retrain, and get up to speed, that's thousands of dollars saved, and that money goes straight to the bottom line.
So when you can walk into that boardroom and present these kinds of data points, both the hard numbers and the soft ones, to the owners or the board, something fundamental starts to change. You're not just presenting a report. You're triggering a major strategic shift in how the entire organization thinks about training and development.
What you're really doing is moving the entire training function from the cost center column right over to the revenue driver column. It stops being seen as just another expense or some necessary evil you have to deal with. Instead, it becomes what it truly is, a strategic necessity, a core investment that directly fuels the hotel's profitability.
See, this whole data-driven approach proves that AI training isn't some luxury item you get when times are good. It's a core strategy that pays for itself over and over again. And the ultimate goal here, the big picture, is to create this sustainable, self-reinforcing engine for growth. We call it a virtuous cycle of excellence and profitability.
So, how does this cycle actually work? It's pretty straightforward when you break it down. It all starts when technology empowers your people. When your team is empowered, they provide better, more confident service to your guests. And what does better service do? It drives profit. And then, and this is the beautiful part, that profit gets reinvested right back into developing your talented team, which just makes the whole cycle stronger and stronger.
So I want to leave you with one final thought to take with you. As you move forward to become leaders in this incredible industry, you're not just going to be asked to manage day-to-day operations. You're going to be asked to create value. So the real question is, how are you going to prove it? How will you use data to transform your initiatives from simple costs into powerful strategic investments? That, right there, is the challenge, but it's also the incredible opportunity that awaits every single one of you.